Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Kira, this is my son Kai. I know it's crooked. I've tried to fix it. It's not really working for me. I think that I can get that better. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a makeup and mystery, and we're going to be doing the Charles Manson case because it's really fascinating and really intriguing when you think about it. Yeah. I slacked off a bit today, in the past few days, and I have a couple videos to film today, so not exciting at all because I really have to work extra hard to get all the videos done that I need to get done. But anyways, Charles Manson, the case of Charles Manson and the Manson family is so intriguing, and a lot of it is actually like documented on videos and stuff like that, where you can actually go back and see how they acted in the court and stuff like that when they were being tried, and it's just really intriguing. So Charles Manson honestly didn't have a good start in life. I mean, like, his mom didn't want him, and he did go to jail, and he got out. He went to jail at like 16, and I don't know what for, but he got out at like 32, 31, 30, somewhere in that area. And what I found intriguing when I was really researching Charles Manson was the fact that Charles Manson actually wanted to remain in prison, which is so crazy. But at the same time, it's not really, because that was the only, like, kind of stable thing he had. And could you just imagine what would have happened, like, the difference the world would have if they had said, yeah, you can go ahead and just stay here? I mean, not like they could have done that, but what if they did? We certainly would not have had the death of 8 people, which, on the record, that is how many Charles Manson and the Manson family is guilty of, is 8 murders. Although I did hear that they think that the Manson family was guilty of more. So, let's go ahead and talk about it. I honestly thought that the Manson family only killed Sharon Tate, who was an actress, and she was pregnant. She was like 8 months pregnant at the time. I honestly thought that that was the only person that they had killed until I started researching the case, and there's just so much interesting stuff to it. So Charles Manson decided to make the Manson family because of the fact that he didn't have a family. And, you know, I believe that that's honestly somewhat normal, because he really didn't have a family, and he wanted what he didn't have. But, I mean, he could have done that by getting married and having children, which I don't think he actually had children, but I do think he did get married at one point. So Charles Manson was really into music. He got into music when he was in prison, and he was actually like really talented, like really talented, which is kind of one of the more sadder parts of this story, is the fact that he was so talented. And he probably, if he had made different choices, could have done something with his life regarding music. Because there's even a video of this, I don't know his name, Dennis, I think is his name, from the Beach Boys, singing one of Charles Manson's songs. Charles Manson actually became obsessed with the Beatles, which at the time, you can't really blame Charles Manson for being, and the Manson family for being obsessed with the Beatles, because the Beatles were really big, and that's kind of like what it was back in the day. Like, that, the Beatles really kind of embodied everything that a lot of younger people back in that time were believing in. At that time, it was Charles Manson and the Manson family. So this guy Dennis actually had a lot of connections in the music industry, and how Dennis ended up getting connected with Charles Manson was the fact that Dennis actually ended up one night bringing home 2 girls to his house, and those two girls ended up being members of the Charles Manson cult, the Manson family. And the girls ended up introducing Charles Manson to Dennis, and that is how the connection between Dennis and Charles Manson started, and they started working on this, like, album together. And I guess, like, one of the producers that Dennis was working with Charles Manson on Charles Manson's album, Charles Manson felt that he had done him wrong or something, and basically it was a giant fight that ended up blowing up. And from what I read, Charles Manson actually grabbed a bullet, not a gun, a bullet, and said something along the lines to Dennis like, isn't it nice to know that your family is safe or something like that. Like, he pretty much threatened a guy's kids, which you really shouldn't threaten a guy's kids, honestly. Like, that's not cool at all. But from what I also read about it, apparently Dennis ended up beating the shit out of Charles Manson, and that was really the end of Charles Manson's kind of dreams to have an album, because Dennis just did not want to work with him anymore, which you can't really blame the guy. So that is what bore Charles Manson's hatred of the music industry. And from that day is when they made this, I believe it was called the Celebrity Hit List. And I know it had people like Elizabeth Taylor and Frank Sinatra on it, but I don't know who all it had on it, to be honest. Obviously, we all know what ended up happening, but before the Sharon Tate murder, there was actually apparently this like drug bust or drug deal. There was like this drug dealer, his name was Big Papa, I believe, and he was a black drug dealer, and he had gotten scammed by one of the Manson family like members. I don't know entirely what the scam instigated or whatever, but apparently it was enough for Charles Manson to come in person himself, which we know is very, very rare in this case, and he actually ended up killing Big Papa, or Lots of Papa, or something like that. I don't know. It's something stupid, I know that. It's a really stupid name. But anyways, he ends up shooting him, and the next day, there was a murder of a man who was a part of, like, Black Panther. And Charles Manson thought that it was Lots of Papa, or Big Papa, or whatever. It was the drug dealer. And Charles Manson started to get paranoid, thinking that Black Panther was going to come after him. And from what I read, that is where Charles Manson's paranoia really began, was there. And so he kind of like instigated this like master plan. And this master plan was to like kill a bunch of people, and it started with the Sharon Tate murder. So I thought it was only Sharon Tate, but apparently she was 8 months pregnant. I knew that. But apparently there was a bunch of other people there. There was like 4 other people there. And they all also were unfortunately killed with Sharon Tate. But I kind of understand why she wasn't by herself, because I mean, like, when I was 8 months pregnant, I didn't want to be by myself either. So apparently they actually thought that the person who killed Sharon Tate at 8 months pregnant was her husband, Roman Pilato? I don't know if I'm saying that right. He was a famous actor. Or not actor. He was a famous director, and she was the actress. So the most interesting part of that is that at first, the Manson family really got away with the murder. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how the Manson family got caught, because it's really intriguing. It really, really is. Yes, Kai. So the next day after the Sharon Tate murder, Charles Manson orders his little cult to go and kill another family. And apparently in this order, he actually tells this guy named Tex, who is also in the Manson family, to make sure all the girls get their hands dirty. So Charles Manson, it's important to note that the only person he killed was the drug dealer, the big Lots of Love, Lots of Papa, whatever his name was. He was the only one that Charles Manson personally killed. The other ones Charles Manson just ordered, and the girls followed through with it. So the next day they go and they kill another couple. And again, the Charles Manson family wasn't actually thought to do this. And what's amazing is that Charles Manson had them write on the walls of both murders, like pigs and helter skelter, because if you remember, the Manson family was obsessed with the Beatles, and the Beatles song was called Helter Skelter. That was like Charles Manson's most favorite song by them, and he thought that they were sending him messages through their songs to personally for Charles Manson to know that doomsday was coming. More specifically, Charles Manson believed that they were warning him about a incoming race war, which goes back to the Black Panther thing. But anyways, so they caught the Manson family on a warrant that actually it was about vehicle theft. And there was like some indiscrepancies with the warrant, so the Manson family ended up getting released. However, not before one of the Manson family girls went bragging about the murders of Sharon Tate and the other murder that was like a superstore, like supermarket executive and his wife. And the story got told a lot throughout the prison, but it did finally make it to officers because I'm sure somebody wanted to make a deal and get less time. So the story ends up being told in jail, and it goes through the system to police officers. And that is how the Manson family gets caught finally and arrested for these murders. Now the trial was a giant skeptical, honestly. I mean, I know you can still go back and look through the videos of it and stuff like that, but it was really crazy, and you can, like I said, you can still go back and see everything if you are curious. And we actually have the former Manson family members, because they're not a Manson family anymore, because Charles Manson has passed away. He's been dead since 2017. But at the time when they did the interviews, they were still former Manson family members, because I think that when they went to jail, it might have taken some time, but they did eventually, obviously overcome this whole, cult that Charles Manson had built. Mama. Yes, buddy. So, we actually have an interview of a former Manson family member talking about how everything in court was planned. It was scripted. What I mean by planned and scripted is they planned, Charles Manson said that he wanted the girls to maybe go into court holding hands and singing and stuff like that, and they actually have videos of them doing this, because Charles Manson believed that in doing that it would turn the tides in his favor or something like that. It didn't, but that's not the point. No. The point is that his hold on these girls was so big and so strong that even after arrest and in trial for murders, the girls would not flip on him. The girls would still defend him and do everything that this man said to do. And that's what's crazy. So, in the end, they all get convicted of the murders. Everyone tried was convicted, and it was really hard for the prosecution because, again, Charles Manson didn't kill anybody. He ordered it. And we see this so many times with so many cases where people just are able to have such a deep hold on people that they're able to really convince them to break the law for them. And we really need to have a new law in place for people like this, so that way the manipulator can get just as long in prison as the co-conspirators. Which, hopefully that will happen one day. Who really knows? So, like I said, they get convicted. They're all convicted of life in prison. Except for Tex. Tex got the death penalty. So the girls are still in prison, and Charles Manson, like I said, passed away in November of 2017 of natural causes, so he did not live through COVID. Although for some reason when I was researching this case, I was for sure Charles Manson had died of COVID for some reason. But that's just me being stupid, I guess. Yes, baby. I was really interested in this case because I don't really want to talk about this, but my mom actually went to jail when she was younger before she had me and my brothers. I know you're tickled because you can't hide them from me. But my mom actually did go to jail once, and she actually was in jail with one of Charles Manson's cult members. And that's why I just find the story of the Manson family so intriguing, is because I'm like, oh, my mom met one. My mom's awesome. Because my mom has had a life. She's crazy, but I love her to death, and she'll openly talk about it because I think that that's like the coolest thing ever. She was like, I was bunkmates with her. I was so afraid of her. She was in jail for life. I was not pissing her ass off. And I'm like, makes sense, Mom. Makes sense. That's why I find this story so intriguing, is because my mom and I were actually talking about it the other day because I knew I wanted to do this video, so I wanted to get some information from her for it. But all she really said is that she was bunkmates, and the lady wanted the Squeaky, I think was her name. She wanted the top bunk, and my mom was like, you can have it. Because like I said, this woman was already in jail for life, so my mom was like, I'm not pissing you off because I don't want to be your next victim. You actually I watched an interview of one of the Manson family members, and she said that she wakes up every day and basically thinks about it and says that she's a destroyer because that's what she deserves, because she did kind of destroy a family, obviously. I mean, she killed Sharon Tate and her unborn baby. And like I said, they actually thought it was her husband, Roman Pilato, I think was his name, for the longest time, until they were able to get the information about the Manson family. This trial, the trial really captivated people because it was just it was so big. I mean, you can still check it out, check out information on it and videos on it to this day. I don't know why, but I'm really feeling my face makeup today with all matte and then just the highlight. I love that. It's beautiful. I don't know why though. I'm just feeling it today, I guess. Like I said, I slacked off the past few days in filming, which I do that sometimes, but now I gotta catch up. But anyways, like I said, so my opinion on this case really is that Charles Manson kind of got what he deserved. And I really hope that the law is able to catch up with stuff like this, where we're able to make a law that says that if you still tell somebody to kill somebody or kill themselves, you are responsible for it. Because it is still technically a crime. We as adults, if we know someone is going to kill themselves or is going to kill somebody, we have the I can't think of the word, but we have the right to tell people, to tell the cops and to prevent this murder or this suicide. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff. I'm going to end this video here. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye guys. Say bye, Kai. He's waving with the hand that's off camera.